Today we're looking at a hand featuring, perhaps, the greatest poker player to ever live, Phil Ivey. He has pocket queens. He's going to be against pocket aces. Let's see if he can find his way out of this pot, either with only a small loss or all the money. Let's get to it.
Gonna take quite a few more pots like that one for him to get out of the hole. Now, Ivey, red queens. The bulk of his profits on the session out there in the form of a raise to 10K, given he's in for a single bullet. And now we see the reasoning behind the 3-bet by ST with aces up to 35,000. Elton on the button. Served well. Not to take interest in that ace-jack offsuit.
Ivey's in trouble here.
Taking a look at a wild hand from a 1,000, 2,000 game with a 5,000 big blind ante. Paul straddles under the gun to 4,000. Phil Ivey, $500,000 deep, gets pocket queens. He makes it 10,000. Wang in the cutoff gets the pocket rockets, ace and ace. He makes it 35,000. Elton on the button has ace-jack offsuit. This is a spot where 4-betting is at least okay to consider. That said, I'd probably use a hand like ace-queen as my bluffs in general because that blocks both aces and queens and ace-king. Ace-jack's just a little bit worse. And as you expect your opponents to be a little bit crazier and wilder to the point that they may just 5-bet all in against you as a bluff, well, then you really don't want to be 4-bet bluffing. So he lets it go. Let's see what Phil Ivey does with the queens.
You know, ST hasn't been particularly frisky of late and on the session. And as such,
That might make Ivey not 4-bet his hand in, but if he does, he will get stacked likely. And
yeah, there it is. Up to 105 we go. Dreamy developments if we've got the aces.
Back around to Phil Ivey with the queens. He makes it 105,000. He's trying to play for it all. Let's see if Wang wants to get it all in pre-flop.
it's interesting because aces often calls the 4-bet here just because of how good it is. If your opponent's bluffing, you don't want those hands to fold, and you stack kings and queens post-flop a lot anyways. But he might think that Ivey's not messing around, and let's just get it in pre. Still going to make the call.
I hear where you're coming from, Randy. It does feel like Ivey 4-betting to 105 is a hand that might be prepared to call a 5-bet.
Wang opts to just call with the pocket aces, and this may be a little bit surprising to you, but in position, when you are closing the action in a heads-up pot, you do not want to do a whole lot of 5-betting because when you 5-bet, probably all in, you're usually going to get called by a really, really strong range, like aces, kings, ace-king, maybe queens, and that's about it. Almost everything else will fold unless you have a very maniacal dynamic with your opponents. I'm not sure how crazy Wang plays. Phil Ivey is usually, loose-ish, aggressive-ish, but not absolutely crazy. So, assuming Wang's just trying to play good, strong GTO poker, he should call. That's exactly what he does. Let's go to the flop.
And
7-6 tray with a couple of clubs. No concerns for either party as it stands.
this is why it's okay to slow play aces, is that if your opponent has kings and queens, something that can get it in pre, they're still going to get stacked on flops like this, and maybe if Ivey did have air, he would c-bet for sure on a 7-high board. Ivey thinks his hand is good. He can get value from jacks and 10s, a big part of ST's range. 100K c-bet into 222.
The flop comes 7 of clubs, 6 of clubs, 3 of hearts. Phil Ivey, continuation bets $100,000. He's still trying to load the money in, even though he only has 8% equity. How's he going to find his way out of this one?
ST's going to try to respond like, well, will Ivey have 100K bet folds on this flop? If not, then we raise. If we think there's air, then we call and play a turn card.
Huh?
Oh my goodness.
What timing is this to come in as Ivey's about to get stacked?
I am Lord Triton, and I'm here for battle.
What do you think about Jungle Man's decision to make a grand entrance right in the middle of what could be a $1 million pot? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, click the like and subscribe button if you want to see me make a grand entrance like Jungle Man next time. And if you don't want to see that, click the like and subscribe button too.
We're here for the final showdown.
Oh my god.
I will not be using my trident because it's broken now. It's been faced too many battles.
Wang very understandably puts it all in with the pocket aces, especially with 2 clubs on the board, because he does have to be concerned that a club will either kill his action against an overpair or potentially give him the worst hand. And at this point, if Phil Ivey does have an overpair, he's probably not going to fold. Wang rips it in. Let's see if Phil Ivey can make the fold.
Get a new one.
Yes, I need a new one.
Oh
need
my
some
god.
pairs.
So the chips get all in, although the moment had its thunder stolen by the self-anointed Triton. Not the first time we've seen that get up. I believe in Cyprus was the first time another iteration of it
I don't think Ivy's
came
pleased.
in, but yeah. Did they negotiate a one time or
One
two?
time.
It seems like one, and the queens now can chop it with a 5 on the end.
Queen
Oh
on the
my God.
river. How sick is that?
If phone not come, I will buy the insurance.
30K.
Yeah, I will buy the insurance, but the street chop. I mean,
Oh my.
$1 million pot over to Ivy and Trident. Observes.
Phil Ivey doesn't make the fold, but he makes top set and scoops $1 million pot. I'll talk to you next time.